Good morning, June 2nd, the Daily Echo. I want to talk to you the difference today between creation and what I will call escape and avoid fantasy. We have our dream boards. There's been movies. There's been a lot of talk of, just put the picture in front of you and it's going to happen. The universe is going to manifest it. You've got to be very careful about what we visualize deeply and what we think about. Because when we go to this place, when we go to this mansion that we don't have, when we go to this Ferrari that we don't have, and we spend 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes sitting in this chair and bringing ourselves to the point to where we actually can feel it. We can actually smell the smells of the trees around us. The chemicals in the brain are exactly the same chemicals as if you actually possess those things. So many of you might say, well, what's the danger in doing that? The danger in doing that is you come back to reality. And in essence, you may be so far away from that reality that when reality shows up different than those fantasies and those visions, it causes a massive letdown. It causes our brain and chemicals to be secreted that actually cause people to be depressed. We talked about what is success, and you could have 1,000 people describe success differently, but we can all describe failure the same way. Failure is when we don't achieve the goals that we've set. So what happens every day if you're going to this Ferrari or you're going to this mansion and reality shows up differently? When you come back to reality, you're having a tough time just paying off the mortgage or just paying for your rent in your apartment. Can you see the conflicting things that occur? Now, I'm not saying we shouldn't have dreams and we shouldn't have visions and we shouldn't have things that we want to have. But instead, let's call those creation boards. No more vision boards, no more dream boards. And when we go to this thing that we want, we actually create the steps necessary to get that. Some things in life are not going to show up magically. They never will. If I have weeds in my garden and all day long I sit in my chair thinking no weeds, no weeds, no weeds, I'm going to walk out there, my weeds are going to still be there. You know what I need to think of? I've got weeds in my garden, and then think of myself going out and picking those weeds and getting off my chair and going out and removing the weeds. We have to create the dreams that we want. It's good to have those, but we have to have an action plan. So when we go into these meditation stages or prayer stages or whatever you want to call them, and we sit back and we think, bring a clipboard with you. And as you visualize and create these dreams that you want to have in your life, make a list, get an action plan. These sessions should reignite our passion to get what we want. Some people do this when they're driving in their car and they get a list together, jot those down. Those inspiration and ideas are things that are going to allow you to get those things that you want in your life. So be very careful with this. I'm not saying don't sit back and have dreams and goals. By all means you do, but it's the way we go about it so that we don't create this amygdala hijacking, this thing in the brain that occurs where reality and fantasy meet, and they cause a lot of people to be very stressed out and feel like that they failed. Have a terrific day today, a great Monday. We'll come back at you tomorrow. We may talk about this a little bit more because there's a lot on this subject itself. Thanks for tuning in.